Hello, and thanks for joining me today. So, this is part 3 in our RHCSA practice exam series. The previous video was on creating shell scripts. So, create simple shell scripts. It was based on this objective, and the one before that was understanding and using essential tools. In this video, we are going to look at this objective, which is the third one. That's operate running systems. So based on the objectives here, I've got these questions, these tasks that we're going to consider. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, giving a like, share with anyone you know would benefit from what we are doing here. So let's get right into it. So to do the first task, I'm going to use this hypervisor I have here with node 2 running. There are other nodes there that are running, some are off, but we have node 2 and it's running RHEL 9.5. That's what we need. So if I try to start rebooting, setting a new password, resetting the root password, the assumption is that you don't know what the root password is. And that's how it is. That's how it is in the exams. If you are not able to get into the box, you will not be able to do any tasks that you're expected to do on that particular VM. So resetting the root password would require you restarting the machine. So if it's physically, you can do that, or if it's on a hypervisor, or exactly what you're going to see on your exams, you just try to start the machine. And while guest is not running, where is it? Yes. Virtual machine run. Yes. So let's run. So while it's here at this prompt, you press E. So the prompt here is the grub bootloader. You press E and you scroll down. I'm pressing, you're not seeing my keyboard, obviously, right? I am pressing the down arrow key to go to the line where it starts with Linux. And if you go to that line, at the end of the line, you can see, let's do this together. So load a video, that's one line. Second line, that begins with set. The third line, ins mode. Then the fourth one, in this case, is the one that starts with Linux. And then the fifth one. So at the end of the line that begins with Linux is where it has a def/swap. So here what you do is you add rd.break. What you're trying to do is you're breaking the boot sequence just so you can interrupt, mount this, the root file system, change the password. You see that. So once you do that, then you can see at the bottom, okay, you wouldn't see my cursor just now, but then if you read the text underneath outside the box, it says press Ctrl X or F10 to boot. So now with that change, just press Ctrl X. That's what I'm pressing on my keyboard. So Ctrl X is going to take us to a prompt where we should be able to change the password. So now, yes, so now we're here. First thing is to mount -O. We want to remount as read write sysroot. So sysroot the volume, and then we want to change into chroot into sysroot. Once you're here, then we can change the password. So pass WD, you can say pass WD root or just pass WD, your root anyway. So if you just say pass WD, it's going to ask you what's the new password you want to set. So you can set anything. So I'll just say password, enter. I'll say password, enter. So now before you quit, you're not done just yet. You have to create a file for SELINUX relabeling. So touch touch / dot auto relabel dot auto relabel. So hit enter, and then now you can exit. So if I say exit and exit, automatically it's going to boot in and ask for normal login, you know, as root or any other user. But the password we just changed now is for the root user. So of course that's the user we're going to try and log in with a password of password. So yeah, let's see. This RHEL 9.5 and on RHEL 8 as well. I think this is the same. There are different variations of this, but this what it works just fine. I mean, in terms of the value you provide to change, you know, the to interrupt the grub boot process. So rd.break in this case, it works fine. So this is where you would typically interrupt, but we are not doing that. That's where you press E to interrupt, but we are not doing that. So we wait. We just allow it to boot and take us to, hopefully, if everything goes fine. Yes, we're there now. So if I say root and password, hit enter. Yes, so that's it. The second one is tuning profile. So check the current recommended tuning profile and then put SELINUX in permissive mode. This is we'll do these three just now. So tuning profile, let's check. It didn't specify what server to use. So yes, we can just stay on. Let me search into. We can just stay on our on node 1 and node 2 from the previous videos from part 1 and 2, the same servers we've been using for that. So first it says here check the current profile. I can do this on node 1 anyways. So the system profile is, the service is Tuned-d. So first let's see if Tuned-d is even running or installed. So systemctl status Tuned-d. Tuned-d is not found. So let's install Tuned-d. Sudo dnf install Tuned-d -y. Yes, just so it doesn't ask us for any prompt. It's going to do that on, it's doing that on node 2. While we are waiting, we can do the same on node 1. Systemctl status, do we have Tuned-d installed? It is not. So dnf sudo, since we are not root, sudo dnf install Tuned-d yes -y. Okay, that's it's complete. It's done on this server. So we just need to enable that. We can do sudo systemctl enable. We want that. If we use dash now, we are saying even after a reboot, it should start automatically, so we don't have to do a start all the time. So now we can do systemctl status Tuned-d. Yeah, it's active and it's running. So this is the daemon that we use, but the tool itself is Tuned-adm. So if you do Tuned-adm without providing any options, any arguments, you'll see that these are the example usage. So what do we want? It says here, check the current recommended tuning profile. So if I clear this and I say Tuned-adm recommend, so I am telling the system to give me what's the best profile for you're recommending for my system to be to have based on the architecture probably you've checked. The recommended profile is a virtual guest. You can do Tuned-d Tuned-adm list. So if I say Tuned-adm list, let's try to, it will give you some of the profiles or all the profiles you can set. There is balanced battery, desktop, HPC compute. So it all depends on what you see virtual guests. So Tuned-adm recommend. Let me bring this it's recommend virtual guest. So now we say before we set that, you can see let's check. Oh, Tuned-adm. Let's just set Tuned-adm profile. We want it to be virtual guest. Hit enter. Unauthorized, yeah, of course. So sudo adm Tuned-adm profile virtual guest. Hit enter, and that's it. That's the recommended one. So now we can say Tuned-adm active. Current profile is virtual guest. So it says here, put SELINUX in permissive mode on node 2. So we are on node 1. Let's go on node 2 to do this. So if I clear this, to put SELINUX in permissive mode, let's check what's the current mode SELINUX is. We can do that by using getenforce. So I can say getenforce. Hit enter. SELINUX is enforcing, right? You can do setfacl to 0 to put it in permissive mode. If I hit enter, I need to be root, of course, or have sudo access. Setfacl to 0. If I hit enter, now if we do getenforce, what do you call just getenforce, you see now it's in permissive mode. Normally this would solve the problem, but no, not exactly. Not for the RHCSA exam, or not maybe even if it's in real life. If you want this to persist reboot, you have to go into the config SELINUX config file to set that to permissive. If not, after a reboot, it comes back up as enforcing. So how do we do that? Just edit the config. So the config file, I'm using Vim. You can use any editor you want. The config file is SELINUX config. Vim not found. Interesting. So sudo dnf install Vim. I can use vi, but why not? Since we're here, let's just install Vim anyways. Let's go. Fine. So now I want to sudo Vim. I want to edit the file. It is SELINUX and the file is config. I'll just scroll down and look for SELINUX. So you can see it is enforcing. So you come here, press I to insert, and then you change this to permissive. That's it. Escape, right colon. We're out. And what we need to do now, if we do getenforce, right? That's not going to, it's still in permissive, but it's not because of this change we've made. So since it is the RHCSA exam we're preparing for, the best way to find out if this worked is to do a reboot. So I can do sudo reboot. Let's just reboot this box and make sure it remains in permissive mode. Enter. Because it's SSH into the node, I have lost my connection, but we'll come back to that while it's still rebooting. Let's continue. On node 1, ensure network service is enabled and starts on boot. So this node 1, what's network service? In RHEL 8, 9, and hopefully RHEL 10, it's going to be, it is network manager. So systemctl status, what is the network? Just network manager. Hit enter, you see it's active and running, but the question says ensure. In this case, just enable, just do sudo systemctl enable and use the -- now, just so anytime you reboot the system, network manager comes up, network manager. Because the fact that it is active and running here for us on this server doesn't mean that's going to be the case in your exams, right? Obviously, if it's a task in the exam, then hit enter, then just check system CTL status, network manager, hit enter, it's active and running. Yes, that's it. So we rebooted node 2. Let's SSH back into node 2. You see, I just hit SSH at node 2. It didn't ask me for a password because I have set up passwordless SSH. I've generated SSH key and transfer and sent it over to node 2 from my laptop, from this MacBook I'm using. That objective will come in, or it will come under, I think, security. So don't worry about that. We're going to cover that as part of this series. Anyways, let's go back to, we are now on node 1. What's the next task? Persistent journaling. So configure persistent journaling on both servers. Journaling, that will be with system journal CTL. Yes, journal CTL. So that has to do with logging. So usually you can look at your logs at var log messages, for instance. Yeah, of course. Maybe we should just be root dash I. Yes, fine. So I can cut var log messages, right? And we have logs, the things that happened, like the history of the changes or things that happened. You can see we recently started network manager, starting hostname service, where there are things that the changes that you've made so far, changes that happen to the system, even if you did not make them yourself, but if the system changes happened, then it's been logged. So persistent journaling here, to handle this task, you simply create a directory. So mkdir, that's for journaling, varlog, of course, etc. Used to type in etc. Varlog, varlog journal, right? So varlog journal, that's directory. We want to move our journal files to, that's journal D files to this directory. For now, let's see. The directory should be empty just because we just created it, right? That's the way of, I'm doing this just so we can confirm after. So ls, so what we need to do is journal ctl, and then we flush. What that does is it's going to populate, the logs will now be populating here, journal ls journal. So logs are now here, and that's it. Essentially just repeat the same thing on the other server if the requirements in your exams is asking you to do on both servers. So process scheduling. So start a stress ng process on node 1 with a niceness of 19. This task is based on setting priorities for processes. Everything that runs, essentially it's a process. Any services that run on your system processes. For example, if you use tools like top, for instance, we can see the processes that are running, right? This top that I just ran, then SHD, all the system processes and user processes as well. So as root, these are the processes that are running. You can set priority. You can give priority for jobs, setting niceness value or reducing niceness value. That's the task. That's the objective, the exam objective in this case. So what this question is asking us to do is to set, so it says process, where is it? Okay, yeah, stress ng process. Stress ng is a tool, so more like an application. We just need to make sure that it is installed. We can use dnf list installed stress ng, for example. So it's going to check no matches for is it dnf, what did I miss? No such dnf. How do I wait? DNF. Oh no, yes, it is dnf list list. Okay, wait, dnf list installed. If I hit enter, yeah, of course. So yeah, it's dnf list installed. DNF. So if we need to know if an application called stress ng is installed. So we can do dnf list installed, and we use pipe, pass the output of this as input to the grep command. We are looking for stress ng. Hit enter. If it's not there, just dnf install stress ng -y, just so we are not prompted to say yes or no. So yeah, that should install quickly. It's a very small application. So now if you dnf list installed. We look for stress ng, hit enter. It should be there. Okay, cool. Now what we need to do is all this like prerequisites, just in case that application is not existing, but in most cases in the exams they will have that pre-installed for you if that's the question you've been asked. So start this process with a niceness value of this. So we just go nice-n. What's the value we want? Niceness value of this. The process is stress ng. Stress ng itself will just stress your CPU. So we're going to use stress testing the performance of your system. So CPU count, we just want to use CPU count of 1 and want to put that run on the background, ampersand background, so just so it doesn't disrupt what we are doing already. So with this running, so you can see that dispatching hogs is hogging 1 CPU because we've specified the number of CPUs. If you hit enter, now we can do top and look for the process stress ng. So with top, let's see, if we look closely, you can see, yes, stress ng CPU, you see it's running, and this is the process ID, PID, that's what we need. And then NI is niceness value. You know, we specify this to start with a niceness value of 19. So the question says start with this, so we are done with this. Now it says adjust the niceness value of the running stress ng to process to 19. How do you do that? You can do, just press R to renice. It says to adjusting niceness value is renice. You are renicing it. So it says PID to reduce. This is the default. What do you need to do? You can enter the PID if this PID, if this process ID is not the process ID of the process you want to renice, in this case stress ng, then this is where you type it. But if it is, which in this case that is true, you just press enter. And then what's the renice value for this process ID for the stress ng? The new value we want is 10. So just watch before I hit enter. You know, the niceness value is now 19, but if we enter, you see it has changed to 10. Good. So that's that. So terminate the stress ng process. So it's like it's killing the process. How do we do that? If you're still here, there are 2 ways, or even more, or at least the first and easiest one is while you're still in top, you just press K. You say PID. If you send a signal to a process, to a particular process, it's going to kill it. So in this case, this is the process we want to kill, and it's the correct process. So all we need to do is press enter. Then the signal values, there are from sigterm, you know, up to 15. The signal kill -9. I recall that from, you know, just going directly on the terminal. So the signal value, you hit 9 and enter, is going to kill that process. So you can see if I press Q and do you can see it says done, niceness value of 19 and this. So if I do top, for example, stress ng is no more, it's dead, we've killed that process. And then the next task is file permissions. Let me quit. So the next task is file permissions and file ACLs. So first, the task here is to copy the contents of RHCSA tab to this and ensure it's not executable. And then you set, okay, yes, for this particular task, I think we've covered this in the previous video, but we can run through it quickly because we need that to be in place for us to be able to do this configure file access ACL. So let's see. So copy the content of in fact, let me see if that's still there. TMP ls. Okay, then we did that on node 2. Then that's good. We can just do that again. So copy the content of RHCSA tab, right, to var tmp directory. Hit enter. We are done with that. Ensure root is the owner. So to do that, just change the ownership. Root as the owner, group is empty. That's not what we have been asked. So if not, it would have been group owner here, but that's not what we need for var tmp fs tab. Hit enter, And then the next task is where is it? Ensure it's not executable. So just chmod remove any executable access on the file. TMP fs tab. How do you verify? Just do a long listing of TMP fs tab, and that's it. So now it says configure file access ACLs on the copied file to this. First, user Adam should have read and write. So file access ACLs, we can check what the current config is with get file access ACL, getfacl file access ACL on the file itself, var temp fs tab. So this, let me clear this just so we can, yes, get file access ACL. So what it's interesting is when we can see that the owner of the file is root, the group is root, and then a user group and other. So keep this output in mind, user group and other. So user, this UGO, typically what you would see when you do AL, that's if you do a long listing of TMP fs tab, right, where you see this, right, this, so this user, so it's same thing. So now what this exam question is asking us to set that access, what we need to do is use set ACL, set file ACL. What do we want to do? We want to modify -m for what user? The first one is Adam, for user Adam. And what should user Adam be able to do? They should be able to read and write, no execute. So read write, because the syntax is read write execute, right? So they should be able to read and write what file. They should be able to read and write. They should have read and write access on fs tab, vartem fs tab. Now before we do the next one, just let's repeat get file ACL again to compare the output. So if I hit enter, yeah, of course I need to specify what file. Get file ACL for fs var TMP fs tab. So if I hit enter, you can see the difference now is that for user, there is user Adam who that can read write on the file without execute. So we are done with the first one. So for the second one, it says user Mariam should have no access. So if we go up, we can recall the command here. What do we want to do? We want to make changes to this file access and user for this user, and then it says no access. So either we leave that we no access on this. So hit enter. Now let's check. Get file access is get facl, yes, for var TMP fs tab. Hit enter. You can see now user Mariam cannot do anything at all, like she's got no access. So all other users should have read only. So we can say set file set facl -m the other user. So we are not looking at a particular user. So every other user, the syntax should have, they should have only read. So it's read, write, execute. So read in some, you can just say read without this -- or r --, but just to make sure, I think for readability, or yeah, for readability, you can have this. What file? We are on TMP fs tab, TMP fs tab. Hit enter. Now if we do get file access getfacl on the file, var TMP fs tab, hit enter. It's still the same because that's the original, you know, access that other users have anyways. But just in case, if that's a different requirement, then you know what to do. So now secure file transfer. It says on node 1, create a file called node1.txt. Let me node1 file.txt. So we are on node 1 here. Let me go take this up a bit. Yes. So now we are on node 1. So it says create a file called, so let's use the touch. The file name is node1 file dot this I think that's just typo. I want to say txt, well, it doesn't matter. Node1 file dot txt, right? I've created it. Now it says securely copy it to the home directory of this user on node2. So secure copy here is to use scp. You can use rsync, but scp. So want to secure copy, what do we want to copy? We want to copy the file called node1 file.txt. Where do we want to copy it to? We want to copy it to a remote system. It's a different computer. It's not on the same it's not on the same system we are on, but we need to know either the host name or the IP address of the computer we are copying to. So I'm copying it to that 192.168.70.6, which is the IP address of node2. I want to copy it to that computer as this user at the IP address. And the syntax here is we want to go. So now this info I'm entering is on this path I'm entering is on the remote computer. So it says the home directory of this user. You should be able to SSH into that computer first, which I think in a previous video we were able to SSH, but of course let's see. So now syntax is simple: secure copy. Maybe you can do -v verbose, Control-A to come to the beginning, -v. There are options with scp, but then you Control-E to go back to the end of the line. So just copy this file to this location as this user. Hit enter, and then what? So now it needs the password of the remote computer, the user in the remote location. So the password is password, I believe, exit status. So file transferred. This how long? Because I chose the verbose option, but then the file is transferred 100%. Exit status of 0, which is always good. So to verify this, you would need access to the terminal, of course, of this user. The location we sent this to is the home directory, pw, so it should be here. See, that's the file from node1. And that's it for this particular video. This is part 3, essentially. So the next video would be configuring local storage. So after that, create and configure file systems, and yes, till we get to containers and finish the series. If there's anything at all that isn't clear, please drop a comment. Just ask anything, any question. Maybe I didn't cover it maybe properly, or other ways of doing it better, or just ask, drop comment. If it's something you need more explanation on, I am happy to help with that. So I would like to thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, like, share with anyone who would benefit, and then I would see you in the next one. Bye bye.